Our story continues with Guiju reminisces the first time he knew that he could travel in the past, when he was 9, although his mother warned him not to wait because she has the ability to see the future, and she sees that there is an accident will happen there. He ignores her advice and stops at the stationery shop, playing the lottery game, and the winner will take a giant candy fish. He wins the first prize, taking the giant candy fish. Returning back home, his mother destroys his prize, regardless of his feelings. It is the moment that Guiju travels in time for the first time. He was extremely happy. But that fades quickly, when he realizes that he neither cannot be seen from the people in the past or prevent something from happening nor touch them. Once he stops finding joy in a memory, it fades and he could never get back to that moment again. Guiju gets back to the present, finding that her daughter Ina has thrown out all the teddy bears that he gifted her. Ina feels guilty for her father's grief and her mother's death. She feels that she doesn't deserve the birthday presents. He decides to go to a mall to buy a gift for Ina, since she didn't like the teddy bears. Daha's uncle is following him around, telling her about his moves. Daha pops up, offering to help select her present for Ina. But he feels uncomfortable and leaves. She follows him, finding him drinking and gives him a pair of shoes as a gift for Ina. Guiju uncomfortably takes the gift, leaving a lot of money behind for her. Fire alarm of the mall rings and Daha's trauma returns, which makes her terrifying. A little while, she finds Guiju holding her hand, but he suddenly disappears when the announcer says it's a malfunction. Ina loves her new shoes and notices her father secretly looking at her reaction towards the present. Daha visits the Man Hyum's gym for a massage session. Man Hyum wants her to marry her son and Daha is acting as an ignorant. Dong-hee overhears her mother saying to Daha that the gym will be inherited to Guiju. Dong-hee takes her mother, telling her that she who will take the building to marry. Guiju comes to the gym and Daha thanks him for holding her hand, but he doesn't believe her. Man Hyum goes to her son's room. She tells him that Ina might not be his child because she hasn't inherited their family superpowers. Guiju feels offended and she uses this opportunity to ask him to act like a proper dad. At school, Ina is so isolated, has no friends. Her teacher calls Guiju, telling him that she isn't engaged in any activities. She is invisible in the class, asking him to be more caring towards her. Guiju goes to her room and finds many school papers in her room without a signature on them. However, he isn't able to sign them. He goes looking for more alcohol. His father accompanies him to a restaurant for a drinking session, but when they reach, it's turned that it's a date with Daha. He is forced to participate and keeps drinking alone, until he gets drunk and falls asleep. Dong-hee visits the clinic where she worked at. It's turned that this clinic belongs to her boyfriend. She is informed that he is with a patient. She imagines that she is cheating of her. She eats candy voraciously, and she goes inside the room. He is just having a regular session with the patient who turns out to be Grace. Later, Dong-hee and her boyfriend meet at a bar. She asks him to get married, but he replies that he cannot marry her until he repays her the money that she lent him for opening his clinic. She returns to the gym. She starts working out on the treadmill and aggressively increasing the speed. Grace stops the treadmill and Dong-hee breaks down on the ground, crying. Ina is followed by a stranger. She notices him and runs away, hiding in a public restroom. She tries to call everyone in her family, but they are busy. Her grandfather is cleaning, her grandmother is sleeping, and her aunt is working out on the treadmill. She calls her father, but Daha answers instead. Daha wakes the drunken Guiju, saying that Ina seems to be in danger. He rushes outside the restaurant to find her. The two reach the restroom. Guiju finds the stranger, waiting Ina outside, who turns out to be Daha's uncle, and drunkenly punches the man's helmet. Daha refers to the man to pretend as he gets her and leaves. When they finally meet Ina, it seems that Ina has gotten her first period. Daha helps her with it and they return her back home. Guiju feels grateful towards Daha and asks if she wants to have a drink with him. While they are drinking, she tells him why he stops traveling to the past. As she hears he has the ability, Guiju says that he cannot find any happiness in the past to go back to. She keeps telling him about things that may feel him happy in the past, but it doesn't work. She thanks him for holding her hand again at the mall. Guiju says that it wasn't him. She jokes that it must be him from the future. While he is in his room, signing Ina's school papers, he remembers Dahe's idea and tries to focus. And he finds himself in the mall. He goes to Dahe, who he is terrifying because of the fire alarm, and holds her hand.